You are getting ready to listen to the voice of Dr. Rhadi Ferguson, 2004 Olympian, four-time national judo champion, Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt, author, speaker, and coach.
What's going on? Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Rhadi. Now today, I'd like to talk with you about something that I actually picked up from one of my friends, a guy by the name of Jules Harris, Coach Jules on Instagram. I think it's Coach Jules _J82. He said something about trees and grass and about how they start in the same place, but there's some growth and separation that occurs between the two. And I sat down and I thought about that, and I decided to add it to today's Coffee with Rhadi. And today's Coffee with Rhadi is titled The Trees and the Grass, a lesson on growth and separation. The trees and the grass, a lesson in growth and separation. I want you to take a moment and picture a vast open field, and in that field there are blades of grass, plentiful, easy to overlook, bending with every breeze, and standing tall among them are trees, strong rooted, reaching for the sky. Now, I want you to understand something deep. The trees and the grass all started in the same place, but they didn't finish the same. When they began, they were both just seeds, but the tree had a different destiny. It had a calling to grow taller, to stretch beyond where it started, and in doing so, it had to leave something behind. See, when you grow, when you really grow, you can't take everything and everyone with you. Some things, some places, some people, and some grass, if you will, are meant to be left behind. Not out of arrogance, not out of pride, but out of necessity. See, the grass stays low because it was never meant to rise. It lives in comfort, blending in with the rest, bending under pressure, swayed by every wind that passes through. But the tree, The tree has to dig deep, find its foundation, and push through the soil. It faces storms, heavy winds, droughts, and it keeps reaching. See, here's the key. If the tree stayed in the grass, if it refused to break through the surface, if it tried to remain at the same level of everything around it, it would never become what it was intended and designed to be. See, your growth requires separation, and elevation demands isolation. Let me say that again for you. Your growth requires separation, all right? And elevation demands isolation. That doesn't mean you leave everybody that's around you. There are some people who you have been coupled with who are meant to be with you to help you grow. There are sometimes coaches and mentors and teachers and people around you and prayer warriors who help you grow. We're talking about the things that are stopping your growth that require separation. And all the time, elevation demands isolation. You have to isolate yourself. You have to isolate yourself and get focused. You have to isolate yourself and fast. You have to isolate yourself and pray. You have to isolate yourself and work out. You have to isolate yourself and train. You have to isolate yourself and prepare. You have to isolate yourself. And some of you are feeling stuck, not because you don't have potential, but because you're afraid to leave certain things behind. You're holding on to people who don't push you forward, places that drain your energy, habits that don't keep you where you need to be, which is on the path of growth. The habits that you're keeping are the ones on the ground level. The habits that you need to have are the ones that are going to get you off the ground so that you can break through. But you're afraid to break through because you don't want to be alone at the top. But hear me when I say this. Not everyone is meant to go where you're going, and not everyone is meant to go where you're growing. The higher you go and the more you grow, the fewer people can breathe at that particular altitude. See, that's not loneliness, that's purpose. That's not loneliness, that's readiness. That's not loneliness, that's transformation. So today I challenge you. Be the tree. Grow. Reach. Rise. And let the grass stay where it is. And don't feel guilty about it. Some things are meant to stay at the surface, but you were meant for greater. Stand tall, stand strong, and don't ever be afraid to leave the grass behind. Let me leave you with this one thing. If you're going to be the tree, and you're going to grow and reach and rise, make sure that you start reaching toward not the S-U-N, but the S-O-N. This is Dr. Ferguson. Have a great day, and remember, I love you, but God loves you best.
You are getting ready to listen to the voice of Dr. Rhadi Ferguson, 2004 Olympian, 4-time national judo champion, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, author, speaker, and coach.